Hey Faith Family, thank you so much for joining us this morning for our daily devotional. I was listening to a podcast the other day and they were talking about this disorder called amplified musculoskeletal pain disorder. It's a mouthful. I had to practice saying that. They call it AMPS for short. And so essentially what it is, and a lot of time it's found in teenagers, especially teenage girls, is that their body, the pain sensors in their body feel just pain from the slightest thing. So just laying down, getting ready to go to sleep, the sheets across their bed will cause extreme pain on their bodies, or maybe a fan blowing some air on their legs would cause some extreme pain. And so these people, man, it's tough as they walk through life, and many people just give them pain meds. Some people say, hey, you're lying. But there's this one therapy that's kind of existing. I'm not supporting or whatever. I'm just informing. So there's this one therapy where they actually take the teen or person and they put them in this program where they push that person physically to their limits, and they encourage the person as they're feeling excruciating pain from running and lifting and doing push-ups and sit-ups and whatnot. They encourage that person to not describe their pain as on a scale of 1 to 10, hey, this hurts really bad, but instead to describe their pain in terms of today was tough or today was easy. And what they're trying to do is retrain the brain, all those nerves, the connections that have been built in the brain to say this hurts. They're trying to retrain that to say, hey, this doesn't hurt, it's just difficult, and I just need to work through it. And they found a lot of success. These people who have felt this extreme pain have been able to kind of callous those nerves, those nerve endings, and callous those stimuli to retrain themselves to believe that, hey, this isn't great pain, but this is just tough, this is just hard, or maybe this is easy. And I'm telling you that story because as I was reading today in the passage that we're going to be looking at, 1 Timothy 4:2, it just came to my mind. And so you're looking, 1 Timothy chapter 4 and verse 2, it says, through the hypocrisy of liars, whose consciences are seared. And so just a reminder, yesterday we were talking about people who have left the faith. And so verse 2 is tied to verse 1 there in chapter 4. We can't just pull this verse out, right, and make something up about it. We have to tie it to the rest of the context. So the context is Paul is writing to Timothy about people who are leaving the faith because of teachings that are not true. And then he says, through the hypocrisy of liars, so those people who are lying about things that are not true, right? They're saying that these things are required for salvation, required for faith. So through the hypocrisy of liars whose consciences are seared. So he's talking specifically about those people who are lying. And he's saying their conscience is seared. They don't even feel, they don't even realize that what they're doing is wrong because they've done it for so long. Kind of like these people who are retraining their brains. They're in extreme pain, but they tell themselves that they're not. They trick themselves into not being in pain. Kind of like third-degree burns. You feel pain up to a point, but when those nerve endings are burned, you're not going to feel it anymore. It doesn't mean that damage isn't being done. It doesn't mean that it's good for you. It just means that you don't feel it anymore. And I think this is an issue with habitual sin in our lives. When we have continuous sin in our lives, our conscience can be seared. We don't even realize that we're being a part of the sin. We're chasing after sin in our lives. And we almost just ignore the Spirit's promptings to let us know that, hey, this is wrong. And so this is kind of what we're looking at here, and a couple of questions I want you to consider as we kind of talk about that topic. First one being, when have you noticed that a pattern of sin in your life has led you to become insensitive to God? So when has there been a time where you have been so caught in sin that you no longer are paying attention to God and His promptings? And then what is the appropriate response if we notice this in our own lives? And so I want to know, what is your response? How would you respond to that personally? But just an encouragement that we should always respond with repentance in moments like this, and repentance and accountability. And accountability is a two-way street, right? We need to desire that accountability in our lives, but we should also offer that in the lives of other believers so that we don't get to the point where our conscience is seared. So look, we're praying for you. We love you. And would love to hear from you and what you're thinking about today's lesson. Pray for one another. Even in this time of social distancing, I hope that you will reach out and seek accountability in your life and offer accountability in the lives of others. Thank you.